12 News Eye on Agriculture with Britton Rucker.
In a landmark decision, a jury rules in John Deere's favor on patent infringements. How many million Deere will get, plus comment from the company the jury ruled against. Plus, new statistics are released about farming and ranching here in Kansas, how it could impact decisions on your operation. Now, good evening and welcome into Eye on Agriculture. I'm Britton Rucker. The USDA has begun reports on Prop 12 hogs. According to the Agricultural Marketing Service, a new classification will appear in the National Weekly Direct Swine Non-Carcass Merit Premium Report. For the first time, the USDA will report how many hogs are being raised in compliance with animal confinement legislation, such as Proposition 12 in California. Prop 12 bars the sale of pork produced on farms outside the state that do not provide at least the same amount of floor space for breeding sows as the 24 square feet required in California. California has set January 1st as a compliance date for Prop 12. And we continue to follow the ongoing struggle in rural communities as they face problems with access to local health care. Now, many rural hospitals have scaled back services or closed altogether. Last month, Harrington lost its hospital of more than 100 years. William Newton Hospital serves Winfield with several clinics in Elk and Chautauqua counties. Now, the hospital CEO says healthcare is struggling across the nation. He says the pandemic, patients with serious conditions after deferring care, and difficulty affording healthcare coverage are contributing factors. That's why he's pushing for Medicaid expansion, saying it's needed so people can obtain coverage.
Our primary focus on patient care and quality and taking care of all of their needs. A big part of it is being able to be reimbursed adequately for those services. There's not a whole lot of other industries that would go out there and continuously take a loss from providing services or selling goods.
He says Medicaid expansion isn't the solution to all the problems in rural health care, but would help them move forward. Game wardens in south central Kansas finds dozens of waterfowl dumped at a turnpike rest area near Belle Plaine. Game wardens say they found the waterfowl dumped behind concrete barricades, but did not say if the birds are poached. Now a warning issued to hunters to dispose of game properly, or else you could be hit with a $500 fine. Good news for the rural community. For the first time in a decade, rural America is growing again. According to the USDA, rural employment has recovered from job losses from the pandemic. The rural population grew by 1/4 percentage point from mid-2020 to mid-2022. The growth was driven by domestic migration into rural areas. An Iowa jury finds Kinze and Ag Leader high-speed planting systems infringed John Deere's patents, awarding Deere $16.3 million. The lawsuit claimed Kinze's True Speed and Ag Leader's Sure Speed high-speed planting systems infringed on 3 U.S. patents. The company will pay Deere $2.1 million in lost profits and another $14.2 million and reasonable royalties. Now, a message on Ag Leader's website says they strongly disagree with the verdict, and we intend to pursue our right to challenge the jury's verdict. Ag Leader will take all the necessary steps to ensure our customers remain satisfied, and we will continue to support existing Sure Speed customers in the field. Deere filed the initial lawsuit against Kinze and Ag Leader back in 2020. Brazilian farmers still have 30% of their soybeans to plant due to fields in central Brazil baking in high temperatures and low levels of moisture. Meteorologists there say hot and dry weather conditions are parked over parts of central Brazil, including key soybean growing areas. Meteorologists say they expect more of the same in the days ahead. While fields in central Brazil are dry, parts of southern Brazil are swimming in too much moisture. States reporting between 20 and 30 inches of rain in the past month to 40 days.
For a tree grower, it's the top of your game.
Coming up on Agriculture, for any tree farm grower, it's the top honor. Stick around to meet the Christmas tree farmer who got his tree picked to light up the White House.